Hello and welcome everybody. Today I want to do just a very quick impressions and video on this Nishane scent, and this is called Colognise, um, and it is from their Cologne line of fragrances. So these have a lower concentration and lower price than a simpler bottle and cap. This is their Extrait line, Wulong Cha. And these, I think, I have a concentration of like 35% oil. And the Cologne, Extrait de Cologne, they call it. I hate the name Extrait de Cologne because it makes no sense. But these have an 18% oil concentration. And they are a much lower price in terms of retail. But I would suggest you don't spend retail for Nishane fragrances. They can be found on discounters quite often, and also used marketplaces have good prices, and that's where I picked this one up. So, Colognise, it's as the name says, it's a traditional style of cologne, but probably modernized and in a higher concentration, because eau de cologne concentration usually means around 5% oil. And yeah, colognes are known to be fresh, neroli heavy, citrusy heavy, maybe some aromatics. And this is Nishane's take on a modern cologne style of fragrance. All right, let's get into smelling this one right away. And immediately you get hit with neroli and sweet citruses. It smells rather natural in the opening. The neroli is a softer. I just mixed up. It's a softer neroli. It's not very sharp. So some neroli, if you smell 4711, right? That's the classic cologne style fragrance, and it's worth smelling for sure. That has a rather sharp neroli. This one is a softer, sweeter neroli, and it's flanked by some white floral notes like jasmine. That give this a sort of fluffiness. There's probably some aroma chemicals for the jasmine because jasmine's very expensive. And sweet citruses. So for sure, lots of bergamot. It's very fragrant, very aromatic. Has this tea-like quality to it. And yeah, there's the citruses just give this a very natural smelling, bright opening. That's very refreshing. But overall, this doesn't feel like so. When you first spray on an eau de cologne, the alcohols immediately evaporate and it gives you this huge blast, right? This is a little bit more, how do you say it? A little bit more restrained in the opening, and you can feel it's a heavier scent. And this what I like about this one is that the opening has all of these floral notes, soft floral, fluffy florals, with very natural smelling. So the floral notes are not very natural smelling. They don't smell bad or cheap in any way, but they don't smell like essential oils that much. But then you have these citruses that are very natural smelling. And then you get also this third part of the trio, which is these aromatic notes, these green notes. And those also contribute to something that's more natural smelling. It has this sort of spa-like feeling. And you get a waft of the base notes as well. So there's something pushing up, probably some ambroxan and isoe super. If that means anything to you, ambroxan is part of the ambergris family of aroma chemicals, and it gives longevity, it gives cleanness, it gives a slight ambery, woody, sweet smell, just lightly sweet, depending on a dose, right? It can be overdosed. It doesn't seem overdosed here, but it's present. And isoe super gives you, again, clean woodiness, lots of dispersion and longevity. Yeah. This makes clever use of modern aroma chemicals to sort of push this style of an eau de cologne into something a little bit more base heavy, a little bit more substantial. Let's get into the official notes. This is a fragrance from 2018, and the notes are top notes of green tea, lemon, jasmine, and bergamot, hot notes of lily of the valley and grapefruit, and a base notes of musk, neroli, and vetiver. Don't ask me why they put neroli in the base notes. To me, that makes no sense at all. Neroli is always going to be a top or hard note. But then again, fragrance pyramids are sort of just a tool for marketing and getting people to understand the sort of transition that your scent is going to make. So I do get the neroli in the top notes. I think there's more neroli in the top notes than there is jasmine, to my nose. And lily of the valley is probably some sort of white, clean, musky thing. It actually, I do smell a touch of the lily of the valley, but I think, yeah, it's there. It's just in the blend. It's not very. It's very, very clean. There's nothing indolic about this at all. And the neroli and the vetiver sort of combine their woody facets to again give this a little bit more base notes. And that's actually really nicely done. So I actually do smell the grapefruit. What I'm thinking is that the grapefruit is mainly a product of whatever vetiver materials they're using, which tend to have a sort of grapefruity facet sometimes. And also the ambroxan. Yeah, I mean, it's just very, very pleasant. And if you can find these for a good price, right? So I don't usually talk about price, but in this case, I got this probably 85% full 100 ml for 40 euros. And at that price, I mean, you don't need any fragrances, but if you just want something that you can spray on any day, summer, winter, any season, and you're not gonna be you're just gonna be smelling nice and clean and also not cheap, right? This doesn't smell cheap. This is gonna be a good option for you. And the retail price I think is 155 euros, something like that, 170 bucks. At that price, I find it a little bit too simple. A little bit. I would prefer more natural florals at that price, personally. But it's still, if it's all in context, right? If you look at Louis Vuitton Freshies, which do a similar thing, they really, to me, are in the same category, and they cost twice that amount. So if you compare it to Louis Vuitton, then this one is going to look quite a good value. But then also you can look at Guerlain Freshies, the Aqua Allegoria range, and the Guerlain ones. They are much cheaper, especially on discounters, and they smell more natural. But then you're probably not going to get as much longevity out of them, right? This to me has some similarities with the Nerolia vetiver by Guerlain, the Aqua Allegoria range, because the Nerolia vetiver also combines vetiver and lots of neroli in a sweet way, with some citruses and some sort of green facets as well. So if you prefer something natural, more natural, and you don't care about maybe having 6 to 8 hours of longevity, get the Guerlain, right? Get the Nerolia vetiver for sure. But if you prefer something a little bit more base heavy, a little bit more substantial, and possibly a little bit more citrus heavy, then look at this Colognise by Nishane. Okay, I think that about says it all. This is a very simple fragrance, very enjoyable, very likable fragrance, and I'm just glad to have it as something that I can reach for in the summer when I want something easy. At this point, I thank you so much for watching, and I hope you will join me in the next video. Take care and have a great day. Bye bye.